Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, dealer's choice today. I've been researching cover tunes, crowd killers as I call them, songs that tend to work for any demographic. When I played in band, in the cover band scene here in Baltimore, the crowd killer, it was a staple. So no matter if you were playing a wedding or a bar mitzvah, or if it was like a black church audience, or you were playing like a country hoedown, or you were playing some type of, it doesn't matter, right? The crowd killer is like, no matter who you are, you, as soon as it hits, you're like, oh yeah, let's put the beer down, let's go. So I wanted to show you one that we all know and love. This is The Who doing Eminence Front, and this is from Toronto 17th, December 1982. Hit the button.
It's actually not very hard at all.
Oh, and if you're unfamiliar with this channel, I will start and stop this thing and show you some key takeaways on the guitar and also talk about the band. So if you were to cover this with your band, what you should keep an eye out for. It's not your typical reaction channel, regardless of the title, because I don't know what to call it.
What's hard is making it feel hard.
That's it.
You can't understand what I'm saying, can you?
What's hard is making it feel hard. And as soon as you hear that keyboard part, man, listen to it again. Let it come in.
It's actually not very hard at all. What's hard is making it feel hard. You can't understand what I'm saying, can you?
By the way, we're in F minor 7 here, right? And that little keyboard thing, root, 5th, flat 7, right? I know it's not exact. I know you keyboardists out there are going to say, no, it actually is. I understand. But the sound you're hearing, F minor 7, but the third, right? This is distinctly not in that high part and not including that minor third or major third. It's like it's not clear, but you know it's not this. Because you can tell when he starts doing the keyboard lines that it's all, that's your basic vibe. But that, I'm just saying, maybe you don't have a keyboard. You might want to get that part, but that's a part you must get. Crowd killer. No matter who you are, it works. All right. Couple things I want you to listen for. Again, if you're in a cover band in your area, right? Things you have to nab because they make the song what it is. First, obviously, your progression. Your F, right, to C. Now, here's the thing. It is F minor 7, right, to C. So this is a 1 to a 6. But the key here is this 6, right? It's not C major. It's C major 7. C sharp. I misspoke. Please forgive me. So it is not C sharp major. It's C sharp major 7. Why is that important? Because this, not this is prominent. This tag right here is the link that connects those two and makes that floaty thing happen. So that's the first thing to note. Now, you're gonna have to get that. Now you hear him double tag it. Now in the recorded version, he doesn't go, right? It just. But in this one, you hear him go double tag, and you got to get the scratch. You don't have it if you don't have the scratch. Now, why does this work? In F, this is flat 7 to root, right? So F, so, and then when it goes to the C sharp, that's your root. And so what is this? Major third, 9, major third. So that's why it works. This is flat 7 to root, and then major third, pedal from the 9. That's why it works. And then there's two other parts. The keyboard. Now I want you to listen for this. You distinctly hear this boom, 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 boom. Now, you can get fancy with it and try to get the double stops, right? And imply that, which is kind of feisty, right? But it is in there. So listen to how those three things mesh right there. And then, of course, the giant thunderous bombs on the bass by John. Huge. All right, now listen, I'm going to go back to the drop again, and I want you to listen for all these parts. Listen for the keyboard. You got the track underneath. Listen to him push the ba-ba-dun, ba-bum-bum, ba-ba-bum. Listen for that push. Listen to Pete, you know, the double tag with the scratch in there. John dropping huge bombs at Roger seemingly inaudible here. But listen to how all those things, they're simple, they're specific, and they make one giant ocean of thunderous sound. Take it in. Gotta do the dance. Listen to that bass. Gotta get the scratches. So maybe you don't have keys, right? Maybe you just have two guitars, you know, or maybe you have three guitars. You can get all those parts. But in these crowd killers like this, I'm telling you, this is the difference. This is the difference when you go and see a good cover band and you're like, wow, this is really, really strong versus just like, yeah, they're, you know, they know the tune. Oftentimes, you don't hear, especially if you don't have keys, someone nabbing those complementary keyboard parts with it, getting the scratches that go with it. And the big bass bombs, like it takes all of it. It's all important in a song like this. Dude, you hear that bass? So Pete's playing a lot of. I have forgotten this over the years, but Pete took a lot of chances as an improviser. He plays all kinds of wild stuff. Like, yeah, I get it. Like, we're in the neighborhood of, F minor. I get it. I understand all that. But if you listen to the overall vibe of what he's doing, he's sliding in and out. Sometimes he's right on the attack. Sometimes he's sloppy behind it. Like, I've seen other versions of him playing this where he starts playing like some open major chords with this and lets it ring out. He was a very confident and loose player, but just came up with amazing parts. And it was an amazing composer. He certainly gets the credit he deserves. It's always good to be reminded of things like this. Listen, I just can't stress this enough. Listen to how much the keyboards are pushing this along. I'll stop hitting the button.
People forget. Spray flies, speed bogarts. People forget.
Can't forget.
Girls smile. People forget.
That bass, man.
Snowflakes and skill tracks. People forget. They forget they're hiding. It's on an Eminence front. Eminence front. It's put on.
Dude, you hear John Entwistle. He waits. He waits. You just get the single cannon shot all the way up to like 2 minutes and 40 seconds. And then he just starts running all over the place. And it is huge and funky and filthy, and it just pops. And then obviously the harmonies come in. It's just that, flat 7-1. That's the, over to the flat 3. That's your melody. For your hook or whatever. But when he starts going up to the high C parts, what? C sharp. I keep misspeaking. Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? It's because I'm excited. I'm a very excitable boy. You know that. Listen to that bass, man. That change, this is what I mean about the compositional side. That change is ridiculous. So we're in F, let me make sure this is in the screen. F minor 7, right? Which of course is G sharp, I know it's not enharmonically correct, A flat major triad over F. So what do? They hammer on to that A flat from, again, if we're talking key centered, from our E flat, which would be like your flat 7-ish, and then move down. So all major triads, A flat, E flat, E flat, B flat, and then do it again. And back up. So but when you come back up here, you got to make sure you get that lead back up to that root. If you hammer back onto that, it doesn't resolve and pull back to the F, because right after you get there, it's right to the, and you got to get that. So just whatever you do, you got to get the, And make sure everybody in your band is on the same page, because you gotta pull that ear back to F, because that is a ridiculous little change that happens.
Won't you come and
What's up with that?
join our party? Dress yourself to good.
Listen to those keys.
Won't you come and join our party?
Listen to the bass.
You got to dress to kill. You got to dress to kill.
There's your 5. And listen to the keys move all over it, right? He jumps to the 5. He is selling the crap out of this C. That's a true C. And we went to C sharp before. A true C. Listen to that 5. They save it 3 minutes and 45 seconds till you get a 5 chord.
Dress to kill. Drinks flow.
They don't finish the bar. You got to grab it, right? Check this out.
Drinks flow. People forget.
Isn't the whole vibe captured, right? The whole vibe of the song that you're putting on a front, right? People forget that you're hiding. Come dressed to kill, you know, all these different scenarios, but you're hiding. You're not dealing with your stuff, and you know it, right? And look at him. Doesn't he look at the audience like he is the subject of this song? Amazing.
Big wheel spins. The head things. People forget. They forget they're hiding. The news slows. People forget. The shares crash. Upside dash. People forget.
Basement.
Eminence front, hiding behind an eminence front. Put on bullshit, bullshit. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Eminence front, yeah. Eminence front, just to put on.
John Edwards, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, doing the audiation, matching the pitch with his voice.
Just to put on, put on.
That. I can't.
Eminence front, yeah. Eminence front, it's a put on. Just to put on, just to put on, just to put on. Eminence front.
I don't even think Roger's in the track.
Eminence front, just to put on. Join our party. Come on, we got to dress to kill. Come and join our party. But you got to dress to kill.
I'm telling you, he's
Got to
crushing
dress
it.
to kill. Dress yourself to kill.
Who is that keyboard player? Who is that keyboard player? Tim Gorman. Drums, Kenny Jones. Yeah. When you play crowd killers to a bunch of different crowds and you work in a working cover band, you really figure out, if you're conscious about it, why hits are hits and why hooks are hooks. And you start identifying over time what makes the great songs great. In this example, right? It's the 1 minor to the flat 6 major 7, if you want to call it that. That's your basic thing. Ridiculous bridge. We're not even talking about the bridge. Relative major, like whatever. It's just, I would never come up with something like that, but I'm not Pete Townsend. But the dual keyboard parts that one F minor 7 where it's the 1-5 flat 7 as like the under track, right? So you gotta have that because you don't have the tune if you have that. Then stacking Pete Townshend's part with the scratch where it's flat 7 to root over the F and it's major third, it's 9 and major third over that C sharp. That's the connection point. That's the little catch there. And then the keys, the second keyboard part, or if Roger would play it, or if you didn't have a keyboard part and you were just playing with the track, nabbing that bun dun dun, like that complementary thing where you accentuate the B, right? Or sorry, I keep misspeaking. The C, or B sharp if you want to be enharmonically correct, over that C sharp major 7, right? That is the other bond that connects that flat 6 chord. That is the other bond in between those. And then obviously your melody stems from F minor, and then you just deliver the crap out of it because you believe it to death, and you're the Who, and you get to be the cock to walk and do that. I implore all of you, really, really, crowd killers, learn them. Think about what are the songs, like Don't Stop Believin', right? Like, what are the songs that always work regardless of venue and demographic? What are they? What is it about them that makes them a complete and total hit and hook, no matter whom you're playing for? Put words to it. This is the theory. These are the rhythmic elements. This is the melodic. This is what they're singing about. Figure it out and internalize it, and you're going to be changed for the better. I can't tell you how much I grew as a musician from having to do 100+ dates a year, cover gigs to many different audiences, but choosing to say this is a learning ground for why hits or hits, why hooks or hooks. And it's the simple things like that. Like, what is the connection point between those two songs? You got it the mid-range, right? That E flat to F, and then you have it in that high part where it's that C, that connecting, that keyboard part, right? That, I'm telling you, that's the real stuff. And if you can find yourself a bass player to sound like John Entwistle, man, chain him up in the basement, don't let him out. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for liking and subscribing. And if you'd like to support the channel and you're curious about my lessons, my courses, and my step-by-step curriculum that I've created and the community that is GuitarGate, I'd invite you to click the first link in the description. I'd love to be your online teacher. Makes all this free stuff on YouTube possible. And it's just a group of really passionate music fans that are trying to motivate and inspire everybody to pick this thing up every day and keep it in your hands. That's it. Have a fantastic day. Fired up.